All right. Shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with the message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I want to cover the right versus the left uh, in a way that many things fall under that category and up under that order. And you notice that the right and the left is two. Okay. So that's how I'm going to teach it today. I'm going to teach it under two separate uh, categories. And I'm saying that because heaven, the way it orchestrated everything on the earth, was in the order of right and left. I mean, not right and left, twos. Okay, so I'm still sticking with what I believe versus what the Father has shown me. I still like to stick with it. And I'm going to take the right and left and connect it with many things that the Father has given us in life. And I first and foremost want to start off by saying this topic is going to cover left and right. Okay. And I wanted to start with just dealing with left and right, but I remember yesterday in this study when I was up under the Ruach being taught that it was showing me that it started before the foundation of the world, where you can see the two separate settings of two things in separate directions. And he explained to me, because I had to put it at the top of my paper because I had took off with right and left, but he wanted me to back that thing up and bring it down a little bit and put the Lamb of life, the Lamb book of life, and the book of the lake of fire. The Lamb book of life and the books of the lake of fire. That means death, okay? That's going to the lake of fire. And what he's saying that in his right hand, there rests a book of the Lamb of life, okay? And everyone therein has gained eternal life. And he said, in my left hand are books, that is the books that leads to the lake of fire, which is called eternal death. So right then, I want you all to understand the way Sister Deborah is bringing it to you is from the level of as it is in the heavens, okay? The kingdom. Okay, so he's saying the Lamb book of life rests in his right hand, okay? And he say the books of the lake of fire rest in his left, okay? So we're dealing with right and left as something that's more powerful than we can even imagine. But because of where we have gotten most of our information, many of us are confused. The one thing I like about being confused is no matter how confused you are, the Most High is greater than your confusion or you being confused. He's beyond that. So you don't have to stay confused, meaning that if he invested in you, you're gonna not be confused. You're gonna eventually fall over and not be in that confused lane. So we're dealing with right and left, right versus left, and left versus right. Believe me or not, it's not important that you believe me, but they don't really have very much in common in the direction in which it was created. Oh, yes. So we know also that in the right, there's spirit and truth. And in the left, there's deception and darkness. Again, on the right hand, there is spirit and truth. And on the left hand is deception. On the right, there's spirit and truth. On the left side is deception. Okay? Let me take it a little bit deeper. On the right hand, there is light. On the left hand, there is darkness. On the right hand is light, but on the left hand is darkness. And we're going to come on down and we're going to get to something that's even deeper. Now we're in the form of creation, the beginning. We have the tree of life on the right side, and we have the tree of knowledge of good and evil on the left. Now, what's the difference? What is it? One is on one side and one is on another side. But what do both of those trees have in common? Matter of fact, I'm going to add two things about the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. What is it that you can see that they have in common? Even though the destiny for the tree of life is different, and the destiny for the tree of knowledge and good is total different directions. But what about the trees of life and the tree of knowledge and good and evil? What is they have in common? There's two things that they have in common. There's two things that they have in common. And I like to start off with the first thing that they have in common. No, I'm going to say three things they have in common. They have three things in common. One thing they have in common, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge and good and evil, one thing they have in common, they were both created by the right hand of the Father. Okay? Both trees on both sides, they have the one thing in common. They have three things, but the first one they have in common is they were placed there by the Father, the same creator. The creator himself placed both trees. They have that in common, that they were placed there by the same individual, which is the Father, right hand. Okay. What else did they have in common? They both are in the midst. They have that in common. Even though one is on one side and one is on the other, they're still in the midst. You just got one on the right and one on the left, but they're still in the midst of this garden. That's another thing they have in common. Now, there's one more thing they have in common, is they both have a purpose. Okay? They both have a purpose. And why am I coming from this angle? It's because I want you to understand, you think you run it, don't you? You don't run nothing. You never did. You never had the power to control nor to run nothing. So even though Satan would have really desired the power and control of the kingdom, and here he is down on the earth, still don't have the power nor the control. And I like that, because it's almost like the Father is letting him know, you so limited. You can't even go past this threshold if it's not from my right hand allowing you to. So this tells Satan already. But see, Satan knows that he has to stay in order or in line, or else. He knows that. It's a sad thing that we as flesh don't have that same respect that Satan has for Yah as we have. We don't have that respect for him like we should. That's that respect. Satan knows that I can't do no more than he allowed me to do. I can't cross that line. I know better. He ain't got no, he got some sense. But Sister Deborah ain't got no sense. You see? So there's a big difference in between that. And that's something that people never did as they talk about, they got lost books, scattered books, books taken out, word taken out to hide from who? Why are these books taken out? Why are these books taken out of these Bibles? Why? Now that you found them, you ain't got no more sense than you had when you didn't have it. Come on, people, think. Not a book taken out or added in change who you are. That shows you none of the books has power to deliver you, to save you, redeem you, or to bring you to the light. Not one book out of this book, which is the Bible, can bring you to none of that. So where is it taking you? Where is all these books taking you out? Where is all the books taking you? You ain't going nowhere with them. You ain't got no more light than you had before you didn't even have the books. Where are you at today? This is where they messed up. They didn't know that the 400 years, and let me give you a little mystery about the 400 years. It was still giving you time. Praise the Father. When you think of 400 years, that's a lot of time, y'all. Even to today, that we have had to see the light. So tell me, what light did all the books that you found, that you say they taken from you or they took out of this book, how is it that the same one who smeared this book created the other books that they taken out, and you can embrace the other book as if it's this book, not understanding that the Roman Catholics smeared this book? So if they smeared this book, they smeared the books in which you read it, people. So what do you turn to? The number one. The one on the throne. That's it. That's your only choice. It's his spirit you have to turn to. For what, Deborah? For what? For understanding. This shows you how lost a nation of a people have been for so long, and still yet today, still lost. Because they don't even understand. If you take all the books that they have taken out of the 1611 and you find them all, where is it going to? Tell me, what is it going to do for you? What are you going to gain in the spiritual realm? What is these books, and what kind of light that will draw you to the narrow gate can these books direct you to? Not one. You know how somebody told me that yesterday, and I thought it was so funny. He said, you know how Abraham, the father, went to Abraham? He didn't have to go to Abraham because of what he was about to do to the land that Lot had chosen to go to, and Sodom and Gomorrah. He didn't have to go to Abraham. But when he went to Abraham, if y'all just see his swag in the way it talks, I guess you can't see it unless the Ruach show you. I didn't have to go to Abraham. I was going to y'all. Deborah, it wasn't about Abraham. I was coming to y'all. I wanted you all to see when I'm coming to destroy something, you best bet I got a good reason to. That's why Abraham kept counting them numbers down. And he kept saying, yeah, but if it's one. But if it's this left, yeah, if it's that many, I wouldn't. If it's this many, I wouldn't. What is he saying to this man? What are you saying to Abraham? Look, bro, already count the cost. It ain't none. Not even your kinfolk's lot. I'm just pulling them out before you. Okay, do you get it, Abraham? So I like that because the Father is showing me what he would do for Abraham, he would do for me. Praise the mighty God. See, you got to see the spiritual purpose. You don't have to answer to Abraham. Why? Because as a young girl, teenager, I always say, why you have to telling him how many that you're going to destroy? You don't owe him nothing. You all power. You the king. You the one that sit on the throne. You the creator. Why are you telling him you're getting ready to destroy? Because he got something invested. He got a kin folks in that land, Deborah. I'm going to go and tell him what's going on. He gets over and tell Abraham he's going to destroy it. Abraham pulled up. Well, if it's this many, will you still destroy it? No, if it was that many, I wouldn't. If it's this many, would play the game with him. Play the game. He knew even Lot shouldn't have came out. See, y'all are messed up from the floor up. Y'all ain't got to know this Most High y'all. That's the problem. 400 years, you still don't know him. You see, he don't have to answer to Abraham. He don't have to answer to these lost books in the books you found. Who do you think he is? If he is the word, tell me what words gonna outride the word. People, y'all lost with the cause and without one. I don't know who y'all, it's just going crazy in how the mindset, but it go back to Deuteronomy 28, until they are destroyed. And when you destroy, you ain't gonna understand nothing. Nothing. You ain't gonna understand nothing. And that's where I'm at. I said, it's over then. Yes, I told you that. But I used the word "it's over" because that's the way he has comforted me in being still living, even though it's over. Because you need some endurance. You know that it's over. You see that it's over. You watching everything they're doing. He's showing you. And then you sitting here looking like a scared chicken. He gonna give you something before you go cuckoo cake. I mean, he had to. And that's that endurance spirit. So what has happened is we're dealing with that right and that left. So as he told me to show y'all that the Lamb Book of Life was on the right and the books to the lake of hell, the lake of fire, is on the left. He dropped down to spirit and truth is on the right. Deception is on the left. Then he dropped down to the tree of life is on the right. And the tree of knowledge and good and evil is on the left. And then he dropped down to the fact that they had something in common. Tell them, Father, what do they have in common? They have three things in common. First and foremost, the Father is the creator over both trees. That's what they have in common. That's one of them. What you mean, Deborah? He the one created both trees. They got that in common. They have the same creator. All right. Then he says purpose. Both trees have a purpose. Now, why would Yah create two trees in the garden? For purpose. And all these people he given his breath to, in his breath, son them a spirit, and now one of y'all got a purpose in you. I'm gonna be in trouble, ain't I, Father? I'm gonna be in trouble. Let me say that again. When he dropped me down to right and left, he says, Deborah, the tree of life is on the right-hand side. And then there's a tree of knowledge of good and evil. It stands on the left-hand side. So you got the tree of life on one side, and you got the tree of knowledge and good on the other side. Okay? And he said, tell them that there's three things they have in common. Both trees, they got three things in common. First thing they got in common, they have the same creator. So the same one that put the tree of life there also put the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He said, tell them another thing they have in common is purpose. And then I'm sitting here saying, I said, wait a minute, hold up, Father. And I'm telling y'all what I'm saying in my spirit while he's speaking to me as I'm speaking to you. I said, hold up, you got down there purpose. That's a sad thing. That's what I said. I'm saying this. Y'all might not believe this. It's in my spirit. That's a sad thing. You got two trees in the garden that has purpose. And then you turned around and gave us all your breath of life and a spirit like unto your image. And we can't find a purpose from you in us. You tell me this world ain't gone. It's end. That's all I can see. It's over. Two trees got a purpose, the Father says. The tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That's what they have in common. They have the same creator. They both have purpose. And what's the third one? Anybody know? They have something about the tree of life and the tree of knowledge and good and evil. The last thing he said that they have in common. Anybody know? We know that it has the same creator. We know that he has birthed a purpose in the both. So both of them have a purpose. But what is it, the third thing that they have in common? The third thing they have in common is they both are in the midst together. They're both is in the midst one on the right side and one on the left, but they in the midst together. When you go to Genesis, let me go on there so I can show you how it's actually sending you a message. In Genesis chapter 2 and verse 9, and out of the ground made Yah to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge and good and evil. So the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they both have that in common, that they both are in the midst. They right in the midst of the garden together. So we're dealing with this right and left. And what the Father then shown me all the way from the kingdom, he then showed me the book of life on the right, the books to the lake of hell on the left, spirit and truth is on the right, deception is on the left, light is on the right, darkness is on the left, the tree of life is on the right, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil is on the left. So right then, he done gave you a whole sermon. Anybody should be able to teach this thing, breaking it up and breaking it down to anybody. That's just how powerful this message is. Now listen to this. The ideal, wait a minute. The ideal of the tree is that both of them are firm. Both of them are steadfast. And both of them were prolonging. What he meaning is they were put there for such by the same creator with a purpose right in the midst. Okay? And they are firm. They are steadfast and prolonging. That's what the Father is letting y'all know. Whenever you in these last days decide that, okay, a light come on and you come to understand all of this that I'm talking on the left and the right is still coming from the power of the kingdom. And what is that power? His right hand. And who is his right hand? The Son of Yah, Christ. That right hand backs up the word, and the word backs up the power. That's the right hand. When the word spoke, the power brought forth. And once the power brought it forth, the word had something else to say. Bring this forth now. And the power brought it forth. If you miss Genesis 1, you'd have missed the whole Bible. Because we denied the power therein. We missed the power in Genesis 1 and 2. So if you have power, you can't go no further. That's why people are deceived. And they take it on the deception on the left instead of spirit and truth on the right. Okay, so it says here, the spirit of that create all things. The purpose. Oh, we got the purpose. Why is the mist? Okay, we will. The will of whose will? In the creator on the left. Okay. He's saying that you don't understand life and death. And the reason why you can't understand life and death, because you haven't pulled from the kingdom. How can they pull from the kingdom, Father? They should have seek the kingdom first. Seeking the kingdom first would align you up in a way that you can understand today and tomorrow. Because the kingdom is, it was, and it shall be. That's the whole time period. That's the beginning to the end. That which was, that which is, and that which shall be, that's it. That's the kingdom. And when we didn't seek, and nor will we seek, we refuse to seek ye the kingdom because we think we the head. We think we the wrong. We the creator. Because we created a platform and the broad gate follow us. So we think we the head. We never knew that this same creator that created the left and the right in an order from the kingdom also still yet has a head. We're trying to seek out on these platforms heads of flesh to lead and guide us, when we still haven't taken on Genesis 1 verse 26, the power that created all things. He's the head. And as you know of him, far on down trillions of years ago, I'm kidding, but thousands of years ago, we known him as Christ, the Son of Yah. Christ is not the Son of Man. Christ is not Yeshua. Christ is the Son of Yah, the power of Yah, the Word of Yah, the Spirit of Yah. That's who Christ is. He's the Son of Yah, the only begotten, meaning that's all he had. That's the only one he had. Yeshua is an angel that was chosen for the sacrifice. The Spirit of God got millions of angels. So he couldn't have been the only begotten. The Father was telling you, he's my only, Christ is the Son of Yah, my only begotten. That's all that I got. I gave unto the Son of Man to work this mission. Sit here, Yeshua, on the right hand of my power until I make that earth your footstool. So even in all that, there's a left and a right doing some things that we never saw today, that we still don't understand today, that we still was not able to comprehend what was really going on. We never did. We rejected, even up to the 2024. And what he's saying is, in the fullness of life and death, it's still whole, one on one side and one on the other. Okay? He says, like the breath you have is a spirit. Okay? And what is he meaning by that? He wants you to know that there's a left and a right in that as well, but you got to see it in the spirit. He said, when I gave the breath, that was my life, was my breath, and breath was my life. But to breathe in, I wasn't giving you something to breathe in you. I was giving you my image through a spirit. So when I breathe the breath of life into what? Flesh, dirt that he had formed. I breathe you in, my image came through. That breath was my image, and the image came out of the breath that I blew in you. You see? So there you have, coming from the right hand side, you have the breath of life and my image. And on the left hand side, you have the flesh sitting on the ground waiting for my breath and my image. Did it get up? Wait a minute. Didn't you form Adam first? Yes, I did. But we know the kingdom had everything first before the ground. So let's pull that up right. So here come the breath of life with the image of Yah, which is a spirit. How is he going to get that image in him? He got to breathe it in. It comes through the breath. Bam. Now Adam becomes a living spirit. Why did you say that, Deborah? Because once that flesh died, that spirit still live. He ain't never gave no flesh nothing to live on. Y'all don't even understand. He ain't dealing with your nasty flesh. I don't know what these people teach and preach. That's still those tools. But he knocked in two in one. He breathed that breath and gave you his image. But wait a minute, hold up, Father. Wasn't Adam still on the ground? Yes, he was, Deborah. He was waiting for what I had to give him, which was my breath that blew in my image into him to become a living spirit. Because I am a spirit. I don't deal with no soul. Roman Catholic put it in there, and they had us mended, just like Genesis 6. They believe fallen angels and all these giants and all this mess. And the Father said it was simply men that disappointed me. And it wasn't the men that was in, it wasn't the men that was in the flesh that was multiplying, having their daughters. They were the serpent seed, Deborah. But what disappointed me was my sons of Yah that took on their serpent, the serpent seed's daughters. That's what brought the house down. He said, whenever they connect Genesis 1 with Genesis 6 and 1 with Genesis 6 and 5, then they'll get it. They ain't gonna get it. And see, that's why he had to pull up. Yeshua had to pull up and let y'all know. If it were so. If it were so. So I pulled that up in Google, and Google was saying, wait a minute, that means it can't be. I said, I knew that, but why can't the world see it? I've heard pastors and preachers saying even the prophets is going to be fooled. That's not what he said, bro. He said, if it were, it could fool them, but it can't. And that's why if it were, that letting you know that it can. See, y'all got his out here, that's walking and speaking according to his will. Now, I'm pulling up right and left on here. And then he was telling me, now you got right and left that's performing and creating man. My right hand, which is my power, formed man from the dust, the mist that came upon the dust, and I formed him with my right hand, my power. And then, Deborah, he lied there. He just laid there, Deborah. He didn't move, Deborah. He didn't blink. He didn't turn to the left. He didn't turn to the right. He couldn't do nothing. So why do these flesh of these men and women think they can do any and everything and still don't recognize me? That's how lost they are. But they came down here like that. The prayer says, give us this day our daily bread and forgive us. No, it says, no, not that part where it says, like it is on earth, like it is in heaven. It's letting you know heaven and check this thing up and out. Where are you all at? Where are you? Why didn't Yeshua come telling us about in the days of Noah, giants and aliens and the fallen angels? Why is it we don't have nothing in the New Testament justifying and clarifying all of this trash? Because it's the left and the right. And we're going to back that thing up and we're going to back that thing down tonight. Now watch this here. So he said the right hand side came in with my breath and my image, which is a spirit like unto me, a life. I went into man and man became a living spirit with life. He is flesh and he is spirit. He that is born of the flesh is flesh. He that is born of the spirit is spirit. What is this trash from soul? They mess up. But until the rock of the creator enter into you and teach you all things, you can throw away all that trash. Kick it to the curb. And hear that is greater in you that teaches you. Now, where we going to this here is, let's go to no, I can't go there because that's not really covering that. Okay, I'm going to now step into, let me see here. Okay, we did that. Okay, so we did that. Now, also with this left and this right, okay, it holds a very powerful punch in the instructions and direction study guide, which is the book. And it says a lot of things regarding it so that we won't be out here confused of if we should go the left side or should we go to the right side. You see, it's a many of things. Let's go. Let's hit Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Let's go there first. Ecclesiastes Ecclesiastic chapter 10, verse 2 through 4. Okay. So a lot of things we don't understand that's actually has taken place and continue to take place and is set up in twos. And when you really get to know really the creator, you'll see how he has lined it, one up on the right side and one on the left. But if you continue to be taught by the flesh of man, how and why do Sister Deborah tell people they are taught by the flesh? It's because you don't have no spirit and truth with no light. You can't bring no light and no spirit and truth out of nothing you say. I mean, it's like you don't have nothing to say. You just at a standstill, and don't have no spirit and truth nor light in what you're saying, even what you're speaking or what you're doing. You're just going along, figuring I don't need no light. I don't need spirit and truth. I'm just going to walk the way of the flesh. And I'm going to be in there. He's just going to make sure he get me. Oh, no, he won't. No, he won't. There's a reason for the 400 years. And don't think it was for you to be as lost as you were when you came the first day you stepped on the land. And you're supposed to leave out that way. If our forefather stepped on this land and you all knew that what they knew, they didn't need the white man Bible because a lot of things were already still invested in them. You see what I'm saying? What they left is what they didn't share with their children. Because our men, I'm going to tell you something, they haven't led the tribe of Judah anywhere but the direction of hell. And you can say what you want, you can think what you want, and you can feel what you want. But when you know that you know, with what you know, you can tell many people something. That'll turn their light on and they will walk in spirit and truth. And spirit and truth to walk in and out of them. And they'll walk and run this from that day on. But when we get stuck up on the teaching of flesh of men and women, thinking that they are the key to us moving forward or toward an unseen Yah. No, baby, believe in that which you do not see. But yet you still yet believe. That tells you that's the spiritual walk he wants you in. That's what he wants you to trust in. That which you cannot see. Because he said, put your trust in no man. That means you can see him or her. Trust in him first and foremost. And he'll lead you every step of the way. Okay? Now, when you get to Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 2, through 4, it says, a wise man's heart is at his right hand. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Listen to this. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left. Yea, also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him. And he say to everyone that he is a fool. Don't have no shame in it. Don't have no shame. If the spirit of a ruler rises up against thee, leave not thy place, for yielding pacifieth great offenses. Let me explain you all. When you hear that at the beginning, informing you that a wise man's heart is in his right hand, but a fool heart is at his left. There are many verses here separating what I would say separating in the beginning. I broke it down to you in twos, a left and a right, a right and a left. And as time go on, the more and more you start to dig into this book, you're going to learn that the Father has for 100 for sure separated things into twos. Right now, people don't grip it because they're hearing too many voices in the land. And it's okay for you to hear voices in the land because you got to go in the direction to the voice that's in you. Either you're born of the spirit, you hear the spirit voice. If you're born of the flesh, you hear the flesh voice. If you are the seed of the serpent, you hear its voice. If you are the seed of the woman, which is the spiritual seed, you hear its voice. Which voice do you hear? It's so many voices in the land. Who can divide up the voices in the land? Only one can do that. And that is the ruach of the creator. They can break that thing up and break that thing out. I was so amazed in these 3 days, I was paying a lot of attention to a lot of these scholars and all these science, these people Egyptologists or whatever, all these people, and they just putting Egypt up on a pedestal like big time. And I'm pulling up over here. I'm saying, wait a minute now, Father, y'all open Ezekiel. What's this going on? Y'all gonna bring down Egypt. Like you're gonna bring down Babylon. And 99 million don't know it. So that's why they building up Europe. I mean, not Europe, Egypt. He said, yeah, they building them up. Let me say that again. The Father say, they building it up for me to tear it down. Praise the mighty God. Ethiopia, don't go over there dealing with them people talking about that, them your people. Them ain't your people. Father say, I'm tearing them down too. He's coming away that's off this chain while we're putting them up on pedestal. So I said to the Father, the 3 days he put me out, I say, so is that why I'm listening to all these people who practice Egypt or all this Egypt stuff, and in them speaks of a different God? When they talk and they did their studies on the four corners, guess where they start, y'all? In Egypt. People. If I was a little girl, when I realized, and I don't say I realized it, I come to grip that this creator that I had got to know as from 4, I realized you can do anything. You can do anything. I believe that he can do anything like I do today. I had that same belief as a little girl that this creator is something else. But I didn't base it on what I was reading, you guys. What I was understanding in the church. I wasn't basing it. I was basing it on what was in me, dealing with me and talking to me, telling me things. That's what I based it on. And it was greater in me, in teaching me and molding me and shaping me. Wrong, it showed me my wrong. It corrects me, it chastised me, it disciplined me. It did all those good treats. To where today I can't afford to go climbing in all these books. If a book has been taken out, wake up. Who took it out? The same one that took it out and smeared the book that it took out of is the same one that smeared it and messed up your mind. Now they got an Enoch 1, and now they got an Enoch 2. Now they got an Enoch 3, in case y'all don't know that. So when is it going to be an end, said Solomon? There's no end to it. That's what Solomon was saying. But you know what Solomon said? But it'll tear up your flesh. That's what he was saying. He said, Deborah, you better tell them. It'll mess their flesh up. Why? Because it'll mess your mind, your fleshly mind. Because you'll take these books and you'll reminisce on these books and bring them into where you at today. And they cannot be upheld today. It cannot be upheld in the way that they are upholding it, holding it, because spirit and truth have to come in and teach you this time. Just as it's teaching me that this is instructions and direction, this is a study guide. And when he come in, he's the true teacher. He'll tell me, well, Deborah, read this, and this is why this is this. Now, in Ecclesiastes, in chapter 10 and verse 2, it says, a wise man heart is in his right hand, and a foolish heart is at his left. It comes to let me know that it's important that people understand the right hand and the left. Because when you finish giving them these verses, they're going to run straight into Revelation to the end. And they think I'm playing. Come on, join me, he said. Try him. And see, that's where the problem is at. We're seeing him like unto the flesh of a man teaching us. No. Separate man from the creator. And over in Egypt, I'm going to tell y'all, they got people who was in the Muslims coming up out of Muslim to practice this new thing. It ain't new. It's been here. And it's here to make us see. And sad part is about it. We got a lot of black men. Not our black, don't say black there, but melanated men running up behind it. They was once in the Hebrew movement. Now they running up behind this thing that's telling them all this power over in Egypt and how they study the pyramid and how far down the pyramid go and how People, hear me right quick. No power is greater on this earth than the Father himself. There's no greater power nor creation than what the hands of his right hand has created. He gives all abilities to each and every one as he has measured. Anytime someone can take a third of his angels, chain them up in the uttermost darkness to use them for the day, D-A-Y, of destruction. You tell me that ain't deep. You mean you kick them from glory to the uttermost pit, the lake, not the lake, but the what is it? The pit, down to the pit, and chain them up. You chain them bad boys, and you mean to tell them you pulling them up in this end day? That's deep. Don't tell me he ain't got no power. Anytime somebody can toss something down below in the bottomless pit before the heaven and earth was created, turn around, pull them up in our days to use them for his tribulations, for his judgment, and for his wrath, that's a bad something. That's who the Father of creation is. No scientists and all these men that's going in. And guess who they falling behind? The heathens, Europeans teaching. They going so deep in it to execute. And the Father told me they coming to execute any thought of any righteous children of Israel. Because when we tell you what they're doing, they counteracting anything we can say. That's how bad they are. I'm telling you, they pulling up with everything that can counteract any Bible. They can counteract any lost books. They can counteract anything. They pulling it up, y'all. They bringing books behind them. They bringing the scientists. They bringing the history. They bringing, they even going as far as before the heaven and earth was created, what was here before? Well, tell us, answer that. That's what they telling you. They trying to back you up and back you down. Hold up, bro. Hold up. When they finish, this is the direction they taking melanated men that were in the Hebrew Israelite movement, in the Hebrew Israelite movement. That's where they head now, because they're showing them that there was so many things way before us. Okay, I can agree that there was something before us. I don't have no problem with that, because when you get to know his power, he do whatever he wants. He'll build you up just to tear you down. How about that? He'll build your bad boy up just to tear you down. Anytime somebody can kick angels out of the hell, chain them in the bottomless pit, and hold them down there to the day, D-A-Y, of destruction. That's bad. That's a bad something right there. That's all power. You mean they chain up? He said, Deborah, what do you think I'm using? I said, Father, is that why you keep telling these angels to go down there and open up the bottom of this pit? He said, yeah. I told you back in the beginning that, wait a minute, Deborah, I chained them up. They down there being held so I can, until I'm ready to use them. Y'all sick. Y'all sick. Satan's power is your strength you gave him. Your lies, your deception, and your belief. You give him that. The Father was telling me something that was very strange. Anybody in the live chat, I don't know if you all know anything about this. Well, maybe you can put a word or two. He was telling me that the serpent's seed is wiser than the serpent himself. And then I said, Father, wait a minute. Hold up. This is what he was telling me today. He told me this yesterday too. He said, Deborah, people are using fallen angels, aliens, and giants to interfere with me on the right hand. I'm on the right side, Deborah. They coming up and pulling up on the left. He said they pulling up on the left. That's why you seeing them now doing this new thing. All these melanated men are going and doing this study, and they going in with all of those who've been in school 10, 20 years learning this stuff. They going in with them. They going deep. He said, so when you see people talking about giants, aliens, and fallen angels and all that, he said, guess what they doing, y'all? The Father said they're trying to counteract me on the right-hand side. Hold up, Father, y'all. They trying to, you mean they finna they trying to mess with that right hand? He said, yeah, they think they're gonna mess with it. You see, I'm like, wait a minute, bro, Father, do they know what's on that right hand? No, they don't. But they gonna find it out there, bro. You see what I'm saying? He's saying, Deborah, I'm on the right hand side. They're on the left, trying to mimic what I'm doing on the right. I said, do they know what's on the right hand side? Deborah, they could care less what's on the right hand. You know their right hand. You know their power. They don't know nothing about that. They're gonna find it out. Praise the mighty, y'all. Because what they got y'all thinking, what Solomon told you not to do, he said, leave them doing books alone. Many books is a worship to the flesh. Why? Because they're going to swing your darn flesh all over the place. And that's exactly what it's doing. They pulling up all kind of demonic things. And I'm like, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I'm like, wait a minute now. And I'm watching this stuff. I'm studying this stuff. I'm watching, man, you know you smart. Man, you this. I'm like, oh man. But it's nothing that keeps me from that right-hand side. Oh, nothing that I can see them do. Say they're going to override the right hand of the Father. Because that's all power, y'all. They can't defeat that. So what he explained to me as I'm teaching you about the right and the left, he said, what is actually happening in the world? I'm on the right-hand side doing my will. Seeing to it, beholding it, not doing it, but beholding it coming to pass. They're on the left side, cutting up from the floor up. And I said, Father, that's all I see though. He said, you should see it. You got the light. That's why you can see in darkness. You can see it. 99.9 can't see it. Even those that be on this devil platform for many, many, many years. So don't estimate somebody got 20 Ks, 200,000 Ks over little sister devil with 1 K. You go on in that broad gate and make sure you know your way. Because the narrow gate is going to always be where truth, righteous, and the tree of life rest therein. And he said, wait a minute, tell them that. Just do, Deborah. Very few shall find it. So it ain't meant for Sister Deborah to run up on 20K. Sister Deborah better stay where she at, and I am there. Because I know what's in front of me and who got my lane prepared for me. Y'all, let me tell y'all, when he broke down to me, he said, Deborah, this left and right is very powerful. I'm on the right side, completing the end and how we're going to sum this stuff up, right? Who all talked about this day? David, Abraham, Isaac, Moses, Jacob, Solomon, all the apostles, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, every last one of those chapters where Yah took his, you can hear each one of them tell you something about the D-A-Y. Why is it you, Deborah, on this devil platform talking about the D-A-Y and nobody else ain't? That's just how lost people are from truth. They don't have no light. They don't have no spirit of truth. Because instead of talking about Donald Trump and Biden, both of them are coming from the seed of Satan in great power against you. And you over here talking about Donald Trump and Biden. You're talking about Israel and Palestine. You're talking about a white woman marrying a black man and a black man wearing a white woman. What? I mean, is that right? I think I said it right. Stuff that don't mean nothing on the outer man. Speak about what the power of on the right hand is doing. Why don't we pull him up? Pull y'all up. Oh, nobody don't want to hear about him. Why? They don't give a rat's behind about his power. Why do you think it says denying the power therein? Wait a minute, Father Yah. What you mean therein? Denying the power therein, Deborah. You know it in the spiritual realm. The power is in any and everything they open their mouth to. And they will deny the power and continue their words. You can't go nowhere with that. But in the flesh, to the broad gate, lead their tails to the broad gate. That's the only place they want to go. Send them there. Matter of fact, heaven already got them marked in for. So you can't go up thinking you preaching to somebody in the broad gate. You ain't trying to get 20K. Let them take their tails to the 20K, where they've been for the last 20 years, and don't have no spirit and truth. This week, what today is? I might do it Friday. I'm going to upload a video to shoot down every priest, apostle, prophet, prophetess, teacher, evangelist, minister, Maureen, seer, watchman, and any puppet, pastor too, they're running around here claiming a position in the left-hand side, and ain't nobody on the right gave it to them, meaning the Most High Yah. See, what happened, y'all, the Father had set it up from the floor up that the head of his church and his saints will be Christ, which is Hamashiach. And who is Christ? Who is Hamashiach? It's the power. Okay? He set the power over us. So tell me who need to be over us if we have a head. He said because they don't know they had a head. They always had a head. But he that is of the serpent seed, they follow the serpent seed. The serpent, Satan. But these that follow the spirit follows the head, which is Christ, called Hamashiach. You see? That's the difference. So he said, if Hamashiach is the head, why are these people following he that's on the left? If the head is on the right, why are they over in this lane in the left? He said, because heaven has already assigned them to the left, Deborah. That's why I put 2 gates down there, 2 trees down there. This was done at the beginning. In the beginning, I had the tree of the book of life and the book of death to lake of hell. Y'all don't know that? It's already, heaven had all that already orchestrated. So what are they doing now? The left hand trying to make everything a lie. Deception at its highest. That's what Yeshua was telling the disciples. You better be careful today, since you worried about what it's going to be when I come or the end. Let me tell you, bros, be not deceived, because deception is the biggest head of being deceived. So he say, you over here trying to get people to understand the Most High in his creation and his power, and they on the left side telling them go to all the lost books. They took this out. What? Since you found the books, what have it? Did it save you? Did it redeem you? Well, I mean, wait a minute, hold up now. What did the books do for you? Those are words, words. What did the books that you got, that you teach and you preach that's about what's going on today, what does it tell you about the kingdom? And what the kingdom have prepared for you? Oh yeah, it's telling you about all this stuff that's going on. But now one of you, out of your learning and studying all them lost books, have come to anything in the light of spirit and truth. So what did you gain? Well, I mean, hold up now. What did one gain from going and conquering the lost books? What did you? Oh, but they took this out, so they hid this from him. They hid this from me, and they hid this. Wait a minute, hold up. Who hid what from you? Why they hide it from you? Why are these lost books hidden from you? Come on now. What can these lost books do to you and I spirit? Nothing at all. So somebody taking lost books out of the instructions and direction, King James 16, was it for the good or for the bad? And could he that who have smeared King James Bible, smeared it, could the same one that took him out, when it took it out, smeared Enoch and all the other books, 100 times 100. So what are we trusting in? What we can see and believe. And this thing don't come by what you can see and believe. This come by what you cannot see, but yet you believe. And when we start believing in what we see, then that's our God. That's our worship. And that's where we're going to reside. I sit back and look at Revelation 18, sitting here laying it out, telling you all, y'all, this is the migrants coming in. They're coming for you. And the tribe of Judah is out here just as lost can be. And call themselves teachers. It's a sad thing. A blind teaching the blind. No. He want me to switch it. Darkness teaching darkness. That's it. That's all it is. Because the sad part is about it, that no one is walking in any realm outside of what they can see and believe. So this is the battle that's going on, you all. The fathers wanted me to understand, over on the left side, they confusing people. Y'all, I don't know if any of y'all saw this CERN, CERN. I think that's how you pronounce it, CERN. Did y'all see the inside and the outside of that bad boy? Ha! Did y'all see the inside and the outside of that bad boy? Do y'all know what AI is? Do you all know that Louis Farrakhan, many have dropped the Louis Farrakhan to gather in the midst of AI because they think AI can give them something and offer them something? Do y'all know that? Do y'all know the tribe of Judah is going every way outside of the way that Yah has kept the light on for them to go? Did y'all know that? And we passed 400 years. They look in every way like they always did before. Out of order. But they want to lead, rule, and guide you. They can lead and guide you all they want. I don't care. I know him for who he is. And if I can't tell people how and to go in the way of the light, and the number one way of the light is seek ye the kingdom, that which you cannot see, but yet you can believe that the kingdom has the power and he has it all wrapped in from the beginning to the end. When we start realizing that he carries the power to have was, is, and shall be, and it's finished. He is the beginning and the end. So why are we checking with man? Why are we listening to silly women? Huh? Because that's where we at. We are born as the serpent seed, or like unto born of the flesh. They both same. They both are the same. And this is why people support people in that area, because this is what they desire. So the more he showed me that there's two things, there's two sides, a left and a right, and he showed me this left side, guess what it do to me? It make me feel so much better, y'all. Because I'm like looking at all these educated, melanated men. Oh, y'all, they over in Egypt showing up and showing out. They've been in study 15, 20 years, y'all. But they back in this thing way before the creation. Before Adam and Eve, before he created the heavens and the earth. They backing it all the way back and letting you know that they have found all the information that exists before creation. And they winning on that end. But they're supposed to win. They're on the left side. The side that he says the broad gate, it is the way to those that's going into what? Destruction. They're going straight into the lake of fire. And they're going in with their eyes wide open. So I'm sitting here watching these melanated men starting to turn away from what they was teaching in the Hebrew. Now they began to see and feel that we all had it wrong all the time. We always had it wrong. Because like he said, Deborah, they had it wrong when they didn't understand Genesis 1 and 2. They never had it right. That's why Adam didn't care about recognizing that he was wrong. That's where you see me in it today. They don't see no wrong in who they are and what they done and what they're doing. No wrong, no wrong. But he said, where did it start? In the beginning with the first man. So you can't expect the first man to be wrong and all these men to no, use a lie from the hell. They are again first man, never owning up to nothing that's wrong. That's why they're where they are today. And these men are also studying, letting you know that not melanated, but it's not, they're not geared into this Hebrew Israelite thing. They're geared into African. They want to take you to make you understand that the culture and the belief of African holds the truth over the Bible. Isn't that deep? They going there, y'all. I know it. Y'all so busy watching all this Puff Daddy and John Wayne and all this other old mess that y'all watching only the world. And they are feeding many of people who portray it, and they trying to look the role, trying to grab their head and trying to look all innocent like they got it together. Baby, and these men this wear wrapped heads and chain and earrings and saying y'all and all this old man. Y'all stop clowning. When did you go stop clowning? You ain't. That's your direction to clown. And you're going to play it for all this work. But the problem I have is you're seeing them and there's no spirit and truth, no light in the midst of them. But how could they have taught people all these years? And then I saw this thing where an individual is chasing their own tail. You know how dogs chase their own tail, and they chasing their own tail, and who's behind them chasing their own tail? The multitude. The multitude is behind the one that's chasing their own tail. What does it mean, Deborah? They chasing their own wisdom. They chasing their own knowledge. They chasing their own understanding. They chasing their feelings. They chasing their emotion, and especially their own opinion. They're going in circles. And that's how they get caught up in teaching all this worldly stuff. Because they don't see nothing spiritual worth teaching you all or revealing to y'all where you are at in this day. I noticed none of them are teaching y'all any of that. I seen a clip today where Gino Jennings have accepted. Now listen to this. This is how far gone people are. Gino Jennings have accepted the debate with T.D. Jakes. This lets you know Gino is not where y'all think he is or who y'all think he is. Right then, he sold his seed out to somebody like me that can't be fooled. He already knew that he had something look like spraddle in the fence line, but he gone all over the fence. Anytime you see somebody on this devil platform that has been revealed living the lifestyle, how dare you want to battle his lifestyle and what he's doing and what he's teaching and what he preaching and what he believe in? I don't give a rat's behind what you teaching. I don't give a rat's behind in what you believe in. I don't give a rat's behind of what you living, what you thinking, what you feeling. If I can't show nobody the way to the light, to seek ye the kingdom first, all that rest mess ain't nothing. So I sit back and I say, oh no, that can't be. Oh no. He said, Deborah, what time do you think this is? I said, but hey, Father. Then you hear somebody talking about Cliff O'Dollars. I already knew Cliff O'Dollars was gone. You hearing all this trash about him. I'm like, what do people understand what DAY mean? All this nasty stuff is coming to the light. It's coming. That which is in the dark is going to come to the light when? That day. Why? Because Deborah, I'm going to show up and show out on their tears. Because what you done on the earth, it's going to be judged right here on the earth. And then judged to a lake of fire when you get to the kingdom. How about that? So you go on clown. Y'all clown on this earth. All you want. You're going to pay the consequences here. And you're going to pay the consequences on the other side. Ooh-wee! What a life to mess up from the floor when you got his breath and you got a spirit. Sign it out to the you sign it out to make sure. Don't no one ever ever think that they don't know who they are. Because the Father revealed to me after them 3 days, everybody know where they stand from 12 years old and up. They know where they stand. Either they on the left, Deborah, or they on the right. They either in the light or they in the darkness. They even know if they're the serpent seed or if they're the spiritual seed. Deborah, they even know if they're born for the flesh or if they're born for the spirit. Deborah, ain't nothing hidden anymore under the sun. They know. That's deep. That means, Deborah, that's why it's over. That's why it's finished. Ain't nobody finna clown with these spirits. You all, the reason why you can't have fallen angels today is the Father has used all his angels and already assigned the seed of the serpent and the seed of the spirit already has been assigned. So what in the rest behind is falling in this day and time? Yeshua pulled up and he said, Deborah, all you have to do is go on and check and see if you hear anything about me saying it. I said, well, I'm going to check and see if you said it when I know you haven't. I know who these clowns are. I know who they are. They over here on the left side, cutting up from the floor up, so y'all cannot see on the right side of what the Father is doing in Revelation. Revelation is doing the tribulation, the wrath, and the judgment. And the fire has started. And we over here on the left side paying attention to them talking about giants and aliens and fallen angels. What is that for? To get the minds off of what the Father is doing on this side. Let me show you an example. They got several movies out, and I don't know if y'all know it. It's a lot of people on showing you these holes. They're digging down, seeking big holes, sunk big holes that has no end. Okay? You know why they doing that? Because when you go over to Revelation, you hear over yonder. Revelation chapter 9. Revelation chapter 11. And several other chapters. I can't remember exactly. But you can read it. You can see it in Revelation. He's sending animals. He's sending his angels from heaven with keys to open up the bottomless pit, to let loose what he got down in the bottomless pit, to do his will for destruction on this earth. He's doing that. So if he's opened up the bottom pit, who in the rack behind is releasing angels from the heaven? Come on now, y'all, talk to me. Somebody talk to me. What sense does that make? If the Most High is showing us tribulation didn't start, the judgment is on the earth, the wrath, and my fire is kindled, and I done sit down to the bottomless pit to bring all those demonic things up from hell, in which I placed them. Who in the rest behind got fallen angels on this end? He said the left-hand side. It's to steer from what is going on in the right hand, which is the Father's word being fulfilled. They got it made too, y'all. Because I believe that without a doubt, right now, I believe 95% is lost with the cause and without, looking toward the left and taking it at face value. At face value. Those kids that was in the mall, they can only bring Judith down to the low of the low. Judith is the only race of people that goes to the low in the name of the white man. Judah is the only nation, tribe on this race of people on this earth that stoop so low. I see on the government programs and all of that on YouTube, CNN, everything you see, they using black people to lie for them. Always there. That's why y'all ain't gonna get me caught up on this here. We the Jews. Get your Jew tail somewhere and sit down. Where are you at in spirit? There's not gonna be Greek, Jew, black, white, male, female in the eyes of Yah. Why would he see all that going on and execute the fact that everything he created first with spirit? Everything coming back to him is spirit. So what you think he caught up on down here on the earth when he said, your flesh can't worship me? He done told you your flesh can't worship me, they're telling me it don't mean nothing to me. If you can't come to me in spirit, don't you step into me at all. I don't even hear you in the flesh. If you don't come before me in the spirit realm, that's why I say, I don't care what these people say. If you don't have a relationship with the creator in the kingdom, the one who created all things, the beginning to the end, if you ain't got no relationship with him in you, then you without him. And you better float with the flow. Go on to the left side. Go on to the left side. Because in the kingdom, it's already written, either in the books that you there or in the Lamb Book of Life. It's already written in the kingdom. Heaven already got it mapped out. So coming down here clowning don't mean nothing. I don't care how many. You can have 1 million. You can have 10 million subscribers. Who gives a rat's behind when your spirit is already assigned to damnation? Who gives a rat's behind because you got 10 million? If your spirit is already signed in the books to the lake of hell. You would think somebody was trying to get that correct instead of worrying about making and deceiving the mass on this earth. Because I don't want to be down here deceiving people. I don't want to be sitting here talking to people and saying things that ain't going to benefit really what's going to end up in the heaven. No. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you black and white and black. Oh, they fighting this and they doing this, Democratic, Republic, and lying every minute that I can because I need the likes and subscribers. I need the topic. That's not me. And I'm gonna continue to put out videos just like I'm doing tonight, shining the light on all this chaos of darkness. So here we go over here. I'm like saying, well, okay, Father. Okay. Father, you're pulling up in Revelation chapter 16. You're pulling up in Revelation chapter 17. You're sitting here saying that the beast that was, that is, and that shall be. And you're talking about it came from the bottomless pit. Come on now. Come on now. He said, Deborah, I'm going to let you know I rule. You know I rule. You see, you know where I'm coming. I know exactly where he's coming from. And I'm like saying, they don't even read that. They can't even read that in Revelation chapter 17, 16 either. They can't see all this stuff coming out of the sea. You know how they all, let me show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all something. You know the river that's supposed to dry up? Why ain't no Negroes? Now you say Negroes, melanated. No, Judah. Why ain't Judah teaching that thing like they should? Because they don't have it. But you want to talk about fallen angels, aliens, and giants. Where did you hear the 12 disciples teach that? Where did you hear the one we supposed to mimic, Yeshua? When did Yeshua come and say, it's going to be like the days of Noah. There's going to be giants, aliens, and fallen angels coming. Come on now. Come on now. Did you know that you can take each verse and flip it to convince someone what it is in the flesh? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But oh, when they hear it in the spirit, it knocks them off the bowel part. See, you can hear it two ways. There go that too. When you hear it in the flesh, they can convince you because that's where the deception is coming. They can precept it and line, and they can little here and a little here. They can go to Enoch and all these lost books and all these found books that they didn't win over and over and over. And now they're coming out with a 2 and a 3. Why? Who's doing that? The heathens? He said these dumb Negroes, they'll follow anything we give them. And they will. Judah is a follower of every wrong, wicked thing on the face of the earth. And you would think that they would not be. Because of Jacob, he warned them that they would do that. But just the idea of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why I say to you all, he ain't coming from their tails. You Abraham and Jacob, Isaac and Jacob's seed from the flesh. But what Yah is coming for is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the spirit. You go on, follow this world. And it do disappoint me to know why does it, you would say, well, Deborah, why would it disappoint you? It's because he's taught me the left and the right. And if he's showing me on the right, I'm doing all of this in Revelation and they can't see none of it. To the point where he showed me where it says several times in Revelation, and even after he have done all of it, it still is not going to cause them to turn nor repent. It's still not going to cause them to turn and repent. You see what I'm saying? Because it's showing you he don't give a rat's behind if you do or don't. Why? Why wouldn't the Creator be caught up if you repent or not? Why is he all up in Revelation saying, and even after this, all these signs and wonders, these earthquakes and all these things coming out the bottomless pit and all these things roaring and beasts, they still ain't gonna repent. And I'm like saying, so you're gonna show all this that's gonna be done in tribulation, the wrath, and the fire and the judgment, and you mean it ain't gonna change nobody? He said, Deborah, no. I said, hold up, Father, y'all, what's going on? You gonna do all this? It ain't gonna change nobody. I'm here to tell you, Sister Deborah ain't here to change you. You are who he already got you written to be. That's another topic I got wrote down. I already got the scriptures for it. You are already written along with your works, work in the kingdom. That's why I say you can go on, these men can go on and bag they mouth up into before the foundation of the world to the point where they're not saying the kingdom. They can strip the kingdom from everything. They thinking that everything was created on this earth was by men and dark-skinned men, like African men. That's and they where do they get it from? Egypt. They're going, let's say Egypt got a wall. What they're doing is they're going way behind the wall of Egypt. Before Egypt, they feel they got the power of understanding what was before Egypt and what was before that and what was before that. But I hear the word that says in Genesis, hey, not Abraham, I want Adam and Eve to replenish the earth. So right then he told them to replenish, let them know that something was here at one time. But what I'm creating you to do is something different. So when they thinking they trying to discredit the creator, they making themselves look like what you call a fool when it come down to Sister Deborah, because he already gave me the upper hand when he taught me what took place before the foundation of the world, and he locked it and came down and showed me already when he said to Adam and Eve to replenish the earth, letting you know something was here. So y'all ain't telling nobody nothing, but I ain't gonna go as far as what y'all said. Because what you're saying, I can understand that there's something here before. I already know that. You don't need to tell me. Boy, whatever it is, she tore it up and tore it out. But regardless, who are you all to have the answer to what was way behind? You don't have that. You have what the white man then gave you in books. Just like I tell you about all these lost books. And all of a sudden they so lost, and now you found them. But why are you still in slavery? Why are you still in captivity? Why you still have not waken up? You done found all the lost books. Well, why you got no further than where you were before you found the books? Where are you at? I don't get it. You see the stupidity in it? These books is not to take you nowhere but into stupidity where you reside, where you're going to live and you're going to die in. These people, and it hurts me because I said to the Father, I said, Father, I can box his ass. He said, now, you going to take what I taught you, or you going to take the fact of what he said? I said, no way. Not after I almost lost right after I almost lost my life, y'all, almost was murdered. You think for 1 minute I'm going to take what these Negro men are saying? No, I was almost murdered. I saw this young man and I saw him, his eyes was so to the point where I can put his black part of his eyes in a box. And I didn't pay any attention to it, you guys, but because of greater is he that is in me, he saved my life. as he always do. Because that young man was going to kill me, y'all. And I don't know what else he would have done. And after that day, I sat in my van and I said, Father, I could have died. He said, yes, but you can't die on my clock. I got you. You see, nobody's going to pluck you out of mine. I got you. I said, but how dumb could I have been? How could I have weakened? How could I have? Because I'm a trustworthy person. I trust and believe in people, y'all. Y'all look at me and y'all see Deborah acting silly and looking silly and acting stupid. That don't mean nothing. Let me tell you, this sister is very trustworthy of people. I love people. I don't have no issue with people. And I've always been a people person. And I was trusting this young man, but at the same time, he was trying to take my life. So at that moment, I never forget, the father told me, sit down. I want you to get some paper out. I want you to draw a box. And I drew the box. And then he'd say, I want you below the box. I want you to draw an eye, two eyes, 3 times, draw 2 eyes. He say, now I want you to put those 2 boxes you drew at the top. Take those boxes and put those eyes, draw eye boxes around those eyes. And I drew the boxes around the eyes. And then he say, now go into the part that's darkened, the circle in the eye, box them bad boys while they're in the whole eye's in the box. When I boxed that bad boy, he said, now, do you see if you can box the black part of an eyeball without touching the black part, you better run like you never ran before in life. If you can box 3/4 of an eye, run. If you can box half, you can kind of make a decision. But never, ever, Deborah, never think that you cannot discern them and not box their eyes. You can look at it and box it. You already know what to look for. Because the boxing was to put the black part inside of the eye to the point where to the middle part, which is at the cubicle. And the box has to be able to box around it. If a box can box around it without you touching the white part, then you run. You run like you never ran before. Because that's a person that you can't trust the inside, the outside, and nothing around them. Run! And that's what could have got me, because I could box that young man's eyes. And I didn't know what it was. But I give all glory and honor to the Most High Yah, who taught me how to box the eyes. And when he taught me how to box the eyes, he said, do you know when a lie detective is hooked up to someone and a person is lying and the machine tells, he said, you don't need that. You can stand before them and look at the individual, do what I taught you to their eyes, and you can tell them if they lie. Oh yeah, that bad boy is bad. You have to know how to do it, but it's bad. So that's what he was explaining to me. What he was trying to teach me is it's likened to them hooking up somebody to a lie detective tactic. He said, because the eyes tells the story, but it also tells the truth. It tells you what is in the heart, in the mind of that individual. And I thank the Father for that gift to be able to do that, along with the elbows. The elbows that he taught me about, the elbows he didn't teach me the elbows of women. He taught me the elbows of men. I can look behind a man that has a coat on, a jacket, or have no coat on and have a shirt on. And I can tell by his elbows if he ever been touched by another man. That's deep, y'all. That's deep. Sometimes I wonder what is his purpose of giving me that. And These elbows is not where you can just tell by one. It's like 3 ways that you can discern if they've been touched when they was a baby, or if they was not a baby as a young child, if they've been touched as a teenager, and if they have been touched as an adult. I can discern it from the back and the front of them. They don't even know I know it. When I see men, first thing I look, I say, oh, poor thing. And if I see them and I can't discern it, then I know they ain't been messed with. But that's why a lot of things that Sister Deborah is telling y'all, I'm not just telling y'all just what I see in the natural and how he's teaching me in the spirit. I'm also using the gifts that he has given me to be able to discern things. What is it I am to gain to know how to box eyes? What is it that I am to gain to know how to discern elbows of a man? What am I going to open up a hospital to box eyes? What am I going to do? Open up a hospital to box to discern elbows? No, he said, where are you going? You're going to need it. And where I have been in life, it has become helpful. So I'm looking at this big time. His name is Billy Carson. He's been in the old and he's out in the new. Billy Carson. And remember that young man I was telling you that used to be with the Hebrew Israelites and he just disappeared out of nowhere? Let me tell you something. The powers that be. And I want to tell y'all, the Father has told me with this light, left and right, that people really think Satan has the power that they want to give him. How is Satan having the power to have fallen angels? Where he get angels from? They fallen angels. Where is he getting them from? When did he create angels? When did he create angels? Y'all missed it. Every time we lie by giving Satan all this authority and rulership, and he's sitting in the back saying, these ignorant people, you done made these flesh as ignorant can be. They done gave me more power than I know I don't have. All you have to do is listen to Job. Satan always and never had the power that man has given him. But they won't give that power to the Father. They won't give it to the one that sits on the white throne. They won't give it to the unseen God. They won't give it to he that created the beginning to the end. They won't give it to he that knows the beginning and the end. He is and he was and he shall be. They won't give that power to him like they give it to Satan. Why? Because it's more Satan's seed on the earth than the angels that came down in the seed of man for the spirit. Now, how was that done from the heaven? Well, why would you say that, Deborah? Okay. If you ever decide to pick up the instructions and direction book, it teaches you that it is written. You heard Yeshua telling you, you hear others, apostles telling you, it is written, it is written, it is written. It's letting you know heaven's got it locked in, y'all. And they got it locked out. All this trash we talking ain't about nothing. So what is it saying? That it is written in the heavens where it all began. Okay? And that when he written it in heavens, in the Lamb book of life, there's one book. But when the Bible as instruction and direction speaks, it speaks of the lake of fire books. So what is it telling you? You mean it's more going to the lake of fire that's in the Lamb book of life? Check. That's right. 100%. See, this is what y'all don't know about. Because y'all trying to give this devil something that he didn't give himself. How did the devil go back up into the kingdom and write all the people he wants to go in the lake, the Lamb book of life? I mean, the lake of fire. Who gave the devil the power to have a list of books of those who's going to the lake of fire? What? Let me tell y'all what's. Let me get this here. Let me tell y'all what's else is in there. Watch this here. That's why you all gonna have to make this book y'all alive so y'all can live y'all life, because you all ain't got the sense to make it the truth. And every man alive, and even Sister Deborah included, when it come down to the word, and that's the Father. Now, here it is in Revelation chapter 20 and verse 12. I want to go into it, and I'm gonna show you Verse 12, I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yah. The books were open, and another book was open, which is the Lamb Book of Life. See, the Lamb Book of Life is only one. But who is this other books that's open with the BOOKS? They got a lot of books. It is, and the dead were judged out of those things which were written, past tense, in the books according to their works. Not only are you already written in the books, y'all, your works is there. So somebody on this earth, talk to me and tell me, when did Satan have the power to go back to heaven and write all his seeds down in the book of the lake of hell? Satan would tell you you's a fool. When he said in Revelation chapter 20, I saw an angel come down from heavens having the keys. Wait a minute, hold up, Father. Who is this coming down? I'm sending somebody down, Deborah. What are you talking about? Okay, I get it. I'm just trying to expound on this to get the people to understand it. Okay, here we go. Revelation chapter 20. And I saw the angel come down from heavens having the key, one key, of the bottomless pit. Wait a minute, hold up now. You mean you finna go back down there? You finna go back down yonder? You finna send somebody down yonder? Yes. I'm sending somebody down to the bottomless pit, like I do all the time. I'm using everything at the bottomless pit to do my work of destruction, tribulation, judgment, fierce, wrath. That's what I'm doing. No, they don't know it. They run around here want to give Satan the credit. The fallen angels, the giants, the aliens. They are on the left stirring up stuff. Because their minds were always on the left. That's how you know that which is in the dark should come to the light in the last days. And what the light is revealing, who's who and what's what. So you can run around here and clown all day and night. This light that y'all said that come, it's going to show up the darkness. Now here it is. Why? This is my question to the Father. I say, Father, why are you sending one angel? What? Isn't this the one that was in heaven fighting, what's his name? Michael and the other angels? Wait a minute, hold up. How is it that you're going to send from the kingdom one angel, one key, one chain? And this one angel, verse 2, and he going to lay hold of the dragon, that old serpent, which is called the devil, Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. That one angel going to do that. So why do we give Satan all this power? So how is Satan over all this authority and this rulership that's going on? The Father gave me something that was very, very powerful. And I haven't done my study on it, but I'm going to dig deeper in it, you all. And when I get it, I'm going to bring it back. He was saying that Satan had his seeds. I gave Satan seeds. Okay? And he have seeds. Okay? And his seeds are powerful than him. Wow. He said Satan came down to deceive the whole world. When he did already deceive the whole world, now the world is deceiving themselves and others. So, because what happened is, the reason why a lot of people were taught that Genesis 3:15 was the Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, is going to crush the head of the serpent. That's not what it's talking about. It told the serpent, your seed and my seed, I'm going to put something between it. And let me tell you something. When the Messiah came, he didn't come with hate. The Messiah did not come with hate. He come to die for hate. So you all are lost with the cause and without. Because when they teach y'all in Genesis 3:15, it's talking about the Messiah is going to come, it's going to crush the head of the serpent. That's a lie from the pit of hell. It's wanting you to look at the spiritual aspect of it. He said that my seed is a herd, and your seed is going to be your serpent seed. Well, I got to put something between the both of y'all. What is that called, Father, y'all? It's called hate, Deborah. Intimacy. It's hate. So I'm going to put this between each other so y'all can hate. My seed is going to hate wicked and evil. And wicked and evil is going to hate my righteous. You see? So when Yeshua HaMashiach came down, he was dying for all hate. You see? So he couldn't be the seed that is coming down with intimacy. That was us, the children of the light. We are to, the Satan is to go after us. Why is Satan coming after Sister Deborah? It's because I got the light. I'm the spirit of the light. When he's coming after me, I'm running. What's the first thing he can grab on? Because he's so low to the ground. Why I'm running. He can't grab onto my toes. He hit my heel. Why? Because my heel crushed his head. And when my heel crushed his head, my heel is now bruised from crushing his head. It's a mission, y'all.